Now we can continue on as we are being joined. We'll go from the state Congress to very, very local here in our flagship area of the greater West Bloomfield area for Civic Center TV, which is our main outlet here on the Megacast, our originating outlet, and be joined by one of our two new West Bloomfield School District Board of Education trustees. WM Art Holdsworth joins us now on the Megacast. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
So, of course, Mr. Holdsworth, along with Ashley Davis, the two winners in that race here in West Bloomfield, are now going to be joining the West Bloomfield School District Board of Education. And for you, sir, as you begin this run, let's take a step back with you as well as we've done with our previous interviews here today. And just what prompted you to want to get involved in your local school district, run for your school board, and really set up the present and establish the future of education in West Bloomfield?
Well, there's a couple of reasons. I retired from Oakland County about a year ago. I was the deputy director for management and budget and the director for facilities management. I was at the county for 18 years, and I worked with elected officials and the board of commissioners that entire time. So I knew that dealing with the sort of issues that the school board, the school district has to deal with, the large amount of facilities and grounds and security issues that they have to deal with, I was very confident that that's the sort of thing that I'd be able to do very well. But probably most importantly, my youngest daughter just started at the high school this year. And, I do worry about the safety of her and all of our other students. And I wanted to make sure of two things. One is that she was safe and all the other students were safe, and that she's getting the best education that she possibly can. My family moved here to West Bloomfield 13, 14 years ago, purposely for the school district. Our oldest daughter went through the school district from pre-K all the way through until graduation, and she's doing very well for herself now. And I want that for my youngest daughter and all the other students as well. And that, in a nutshell, is why I decided to run for the board.
You can keep up to date on everything that's going on in terms of business with the West Bloomfield School District Board of Education, what they're working on, information about their study sessions, as well as their monthly regular meetings at the I Center, or as many may call it, traditionally the library at West Bloomfield High School, by visiting wbsd.org. Joining us on today's program is WM Art Holdsworth, who is one of the two victors in the local race for the West Bloomfield School District Board of Education. Several candidates on the ballot, as well as qualified write-in candidates, and two victors finally in that race, Ashley Davis, as well as WM Art Holdsworth, joining us on this edition of the Megacast. You mentioned school security as being one of your hallmark and benchmark issues as you join the school board. What are some of your other priorities as well that you'd like to work with the current school board, returning members, and of course the greater West Bloomfield community as you take on this leadership role?
Well, first up, I wanted to congratulate Ashley on her great victory last night, and I'm really looking forward to working with her on the board and the other board members. I've been attending the board meetings regularly, their strategic planning session last spring. A lot of really good people, both on the board and in our school district. And I'm sure you're aware of a lot of the what I'll call culture war issues that are out there. I'm not going to get into any of that stuff, but I wanted to make sure that our teachers feel that they're respected and know that we value what they do every day. I want to make sure that we're able to retain our teachers for the long haul. And when we're recruiting new teachers, I want them to feel like it's a career, a place that they can stay for their entire career. I also want to make sure that our students of all cultures, religions, backgrounds, races, identities feel welcomed in our community. The diversity here in West Bloomfield is outstanding. It's one of our greatest strengths. And I want to make sure that we're valuing that and making sure that everybody feels welcomed, that our staff and our academic materials and everything are emphasizing that they are welcomed and valued as young people And if they do feel welcomed and comfortable and part of a educational community, that's going to improve their academic performance.
Lastly, before we let you go, I want to take a couple minutes because this is an important issue, especially in the city of Keego Harbor. Many of the residents in the city of Keego Harbor are concerned about the future of Roosevelt School. It's been a hallmark in that community for well over 100 years. Some building issues before this school year began caused students to be moved by the school district to the former Abbott Middle School facility at Orchard Lake Road and Commerce. There in between really all three of the four communities here in the greater West Bloomfield area. In terms of working with the community and working with the school district to find solutions in the future of Roosevelt, where do you stand, or can you at least touch on what you plan to do in terms of communicating with the community and determining what is the best future for that facility and for education in that area of Keego Harbor?
Well, the education, of course, of the students up in the Keego, Sylvan area is equally as important as any other student from any other part of West Bloomfield.
Of course.
And we're going to do our best to make sure that their academic performance, which has to include the facility and the grounds where they go to school, are top notch. I've been a trustee elect for about 11 hours now. I have had several conversations with people about the facility, and I've read the facility report from this summer about the damage to the building. And there's a lot of issues that have to be taken into consideration for the future of that building. But I can, reading the tea leaves, I can almost guarantee that that building in one way, shape, or form is always going to be there. Okay. There's always going to be a school, an elementary school in that area. And I'm going to do my best to take everything into consideration, work with the board to make the best decision possible for everybody concerned. And I'm going to diligently prepare to help make those decisions. But I want to assure the people of Keego Harbor that they don't have anything to worry about. They're going to be happy with the final decision, and their students, above all, are going to get a great education.
We appreciate you joining us, Mr. Holdsworth. Thanks for being on the program today. And of course, congratulations on your election to the West Bloomfield School District Board of Education.
Thank you very much. And I know you're going to be talking with Ashley soon, and I'll be watching as well to see all the good things that she has to say. And I thank you very much for this time this morning.